Mantra Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki. So thank you all once again for this, for coming to this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. This movement founded by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. I want to take a moment to thank the devotees who have requested me to speak today. I want to welcome all those who are new, coming for the first time. One new devotee, new friend of mine just walked, that is Ganesh. Please welcome Ganesh with loud Haribol. Ganesh is coming for the first time also. We have a number of devotees coming for the first time. So yes, please see us. So we have some tokens of some gifts for you for the first time visitors. So, you can see this, the slides, right? Yeah. There's a lot of feedback. Maybe we can turn down the volume a bit. Can we turn down the volume a little bit? It's echoing quite a bit. Yeah. Or we can turn off the echo. It's the orange button there. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So we'll be reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. You can hear me, right? Yeah? Okay. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 6, verse number 20. Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pashyanatmanitushyati. So this is actually a part of a set of verses regarding this particular topic. Does anybody know what the topic or the title of this chapter is? Chapter 6? Dhyana Yoga. Yoga of Dhyan, right? Of absorption. So, the translation: in the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from mental activities by practice of yoga. This perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness realized through transcendental senses. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. This Chitta Shakti or internal potency is transcendental. Purushartha means material religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and at the end, the attempt to become one with the Supreme. Right, so the Purushartha is what? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. This is Dharma, religiosity, Artha, economic development, Kama, sense gratification, at the end, Moksha. This oneness with the Supreme is called Kaivalyam by the monists. But according to Patanjali, this Kaivalyam is an internal or transcendental potency by which the living entity becomes aware of his constitutional position. In the words of Lord Chaitanya, this state of affairs is called Cheto Darpada Marjanam, or the clearance of the impure mirror of the mind. This clearance is actually liberation, or Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. The theory of nirvana, also preliminary, corresponds with this principle. We've all heard this word nirvana, right? It's a very commonly known term in the West as well. So what is nirvana? It's this principle. In the Bhagavatam, this is called Swarupena Vyavasthiti. The Bhagavad Gita also confirms this situation in this verse. After nirvana or material cessation, there is the manifestation of spiritual activities or devotional service to the Lord, known as Krishna consciousness. In the words of the Bhagavatam, Swarupena Vivasthiti, this is the real life of the living entity. Maya or illusion is a condition of spiritual life contaminated by material infection. Liberation from this material infection does not mean destruction of the original position of the living entity. Patanjali also accepts this by his words, Kaivalyam Swarupa Pratishtha Va Chitti Shaktir Iti. This Chitti Shakti or transcendental pleasure is real life. This is confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra 1112. Anandamayo Bhyasa. This natural transcendental pleasure is the ultimate goal of yoga and is easily achieved by execution of devotional service or bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga will be vividly described in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-shlakaya Chakshusumritamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, it's a very interesting topic of what is the goal of yoga. The goal of yoga is samadhi. That's the ultimate goal, to be absorbed or to the trance, right? The translation says the stage of perfection is trance. You're so absorbed that you're completely into that pleasure of transcendence, and you become unaware of the material surroundings because you realize that you're on the spiritual platform, not on the material platform. So that existence, that consciousness is called samadhi or trance. But that is only possible when the mirror of our mind is cleaned. So the word for mirror is darpana. This line that Srila Prabhupada quotes, and it is written by none other than Lord Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So on our altar, our main deity right in the center is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is an incarnation of Lord Krishna himself, directly. He appeared 500 years ago and he gave us this very important instruction. This line is Cheto Darpana Marjanam, that this process of chanting Hare Krishna, this process of Sankirtana, it will cleanse the mind of all misgivings, of all contaminations. Then when the mirror is clear, we can actually see who we are. And then we can be absorbed in samadhi. Before that, it's not possible. Right? So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wrote a set of prayers. It's called Shikshashtakam. Shiksha means instruction, and Ashtaka means 8. So a set of 8 instructions given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Srila Prabhupada invokes this in the context of yoga and trance, that is the goal. So I thought it would be a good idea that, not all of us may be familiar with the Shikshashtakam. So let us go over the Shikshashtakam and then get a little more in-depth into one or two of the verses. Right? So we can all recite this together. Cheto darpanamajanam bhavamaha dhava vinirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vidaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Sapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste full nectar at every step. Nam namakari bahudani jasarva shaktis tatra pitani amita smaranena kala etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi lurdaivam idrisham. My Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, in your holy name there is all good fortune for the living entity, and therefore you have many names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you expand yourself. You have invested all your potencies in those names, and there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. My dear Lord, although you bestow such mercy upon the fallen, conditioned souls by liberally teaching your holy names, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve the attachment for chanting. Trinadapi sunichena taroriva Vishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor, but is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhaktira haritu kitvaye. O Lord of the universe, I do not desire material wealth, materialistic followers, a beautiful wife, or fruitive activities described in flowery language. All I want, life after life, is unmotivated devotional service to you. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patita mavishame bhavambuddho kripaya tava pada pankaja sidaduri sastasham chintaya. O my Lord, O Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant, but because of my own fruitive acts, I have fallen in this horrible ocean of nations. Now please, be causelessly merciful to me. Consider me a particle of dust at your lotus feet. Nayanam galadashtu dharaya vadanam gadgadarudaya gira ulakai vichitam vapukada davanama grihane bhavishyati. My dear Lord, when will my eyes be beautified by filling with tears that constantly glide down as I chant your holy name? When will my voice falter and all the hairs on my body stand erect in transcendental happiness as I chant your name? Yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. My Lord Govinda, because of separation from you, I consider even a moment a great millennium. Tears flow from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I see the entire world as void. Ashlisyava padaratam vinashumam adarshanam marmahatam karotuva yathatava vidadhantulam vato matprananatha saivanapara. Let Krishna tightly embrace this maidservant who has fallen at his lotus feet. Let him trample me or break my heart by never being visible to me. He is a debauchee after all and can do whatever he likes, but he is still none other than my worshipable Lord of my heart. Shri Shri Shikshashtakam ki. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us these instructions, and you get a feeling. You get a feeling of the kind of emotions that he is expressing as the verses progress. In the beginning, he's giving instructions, the glory of the holy name, and then you can see he's melting more and more in intensity of love for Krishna. Right? So we will just focus on a couple of these. But I wanted to start with one particular statement given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which I really found particularly amazing. He says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the grand spiritual master of our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. And he's also, you can see him on the altar over there. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the Jiva soul, that is all of us, we're all eternal Jiva souls, is very small in size, but its bliss is unlimited. That's incredible. Think about something, if you want to limit something, you make it smaller. But we are very fortunate that even though we're very small, we have certain things about us that are unlimited. There's no limit to how much bliss we can enjoy. Right? Think about it. There's no limit because it's intensity, and you can focus intensity anywhere. So the bliss we can enjoy is limitless. Even think about our material conditioning, right? There's a limit to how big I can get. I think I'm beginning to test those limits myself. but there's a limit, right? There's a limit to how strong we can be. There's a limit to how rich we can be, right? But is there a limit to how much greed we have? No. No matter how rich the richest person is still working very hard. Think about it. Some of the richest people are putting in 18-hour days still. What is the point? Because the desire to have more and more, the desire is unlimited. There's nothing wrong with that reality. It's actually a reflection of our true desire. Our desire to love unconditionally and love deeply and intensely. That desire is a reflection of this reality. That the soul is limited in size, but unlimited in its capacity to enjoy bliss. That feature of ours, every single one of us, all living entities, is what's the most valuable thing. It's even more valuable than what Krishna has. Because Krishna has this capacity to be unlimited, but he also has unlimited responsibility. Think about it. He maintains the universes, he creates them, he makes sure everything works perfectly. We don't have to deal with any of that stuff. We may think all this is on our shoulders, but none of it is. Actually, even our own bodies, Krishna is maintaining. The beating of the heart, the working of the enzymes, and all that stuff, Krishna is controlling as a super soul. So his responsibility is there. We are so fortunate that we are compact, small, we don't have to deal with the huge size, but we can enjoy unlimitedly. How to enjoy unlimitedly? That's a problem that we face when we think we are this body, when we think that we are made of this matter. The moment we are confused like that, then our unlimited desires become stifled. They become frustrated and they lead to anger, greed, and all kinds of negativity. So the process to come out of it is very beautifully presented by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is this chanting process. Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So those of you who are not familiar, we also have, if you see some of these devotees, they're walking around with something that looks like this cloth bag, and they have beads in them, just in case you're wondering what they're hiding. So this is what we're hiding in there. These beads, as a system for chanting, is called japa. Japa means you chant in a meditative way. So you take one bead and you focus on the name of Krishna and you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So a couple of months ago, I gave a class right here on the idea of the 4 gates of very successful japa. Like the first gate is the fundamentals. You chant Hare Krishna clearly with your focus. You sit in a sacred space where there's not too much disturbance. You sit properly, etc. That's your fundamentals. Once you pass that, then you focus your mind on chanting japa. You focus on the meaning of the name, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and he is none other than the name himself. And then you also allow your heart to express the heartfelt emotions and feelings that, my Lord, I'm yours. So you let all these things flow. And then the 4th gate is the mercy that Krishna allows us into his existence and into his life. And that is the whole point of Krishna consciousness, that we can be fully absorbed in Krishna via this process of chanting Hare Krishna. This is the process recommended for this age of Kali Yuga. So a very important component of this process of chanting japa is this notion of the sacred space, right? If you situate yourself in a sacred space, for example, in a quiet room, or say if you're in an altar room in your house, or you come to the temple, which is a physically sacred space. So there's a physical part of it, and then there's an internal sacred space, which is the mental part of it. So how do we create this mental, internal sacred space? That is the whole point, actually, of Shikshashtakam. If you look at every verse of Shikshashtakam, it's really pointed toward this process of chanting Hare Krishna. How to do it, and what kind of mood to create in your internal sacred space. Right? Be as humble, more humble than a blade of grass, be more tolerant than a tree, etc., etc. So, I'm just going to focus on a few of the points that were brought in Shikshashtakam. This particular Shikshashtakam, if we go really deep into it, it's a whole seminar in itself. It's at least a 10-hour discussion if you go into each verse and some of the commentaries that the acharyas have given us. So we'll just focus on a few of the points that come up, and hopefully that should pique your interest to read this further. You can look up Shikshashtakam and read it on your own if you are interested to develop it further. So, verse number 1. Cheto darpanamajanam. Right? What is that point? The chitta, your mind is like a mirror. And when we clean it, we can see ourselves. The process of cleansing is done by the chanting process. The word for chanting used in this verse is Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. What is Sankirtan? Congregational chanting is one meaning of it. Sangha means like we come together, Sankirtan, right? But there's another meaning of the word Sankirtan. It also means complete, like samsparshaja hoga, like you're completely enjoying it. So if your sam is used to show fullness or completeness, right? So this process is complete chanting. It completes every aspect of our life. There's nothing that's left if you're chanting Hare Krishna. So that is Sankirtan. And he's saying, let there be all victory. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Right? Now, what is the second verse? Namna Makari Bahuda. Who knows the verse? Bahuda Nija Sarvachakti. Niyamita Smaranena Kala. Itadashi Tava Kripam Bhagavan Mamapi. Durdaivam Idisham Iha Jayana. Nam Akari. So Krishna has many names. Now what is this prayer, Lord Chaitanya? What is he saying? My Lord Krishna. Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. You have invested in your names. Remember, Krishna is fully powerful. And he can invest his powers into anything. He has invested some of his powers? Or? What is the verse? Sarva Shaktis. He has invested all of his energies in his name. Think about that for a second. Krishna's energies are so multifaceted and so powerful. They are the ones responsible for the creation of the entire universe, sustenance, everything that we see, all his internal potency, his loving exchanges, his own body. These are all his energies. He has invested these holy names not with partial. Bahuda Nija. Nija means his own. Sarva Shaktis. Let us not forget that. Once we actually even fathom a little bit of what this means, it blows our mind, because every single power and energy of Krishna is in his holy name. There's no difference between Krishna and his holy name. There's no difference. That is incredible. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reminding us of this by praying to the holy name, saying that Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala. So now another point you might think, okay, well, if it's something so great and so powerful, I must be qualified. I must be supremely qualified, right? To be able to engage in this. And there must be so many rules to do it. You can't just go and just do it. Right? It's something that's so sublime. How can you just go out and do it? Right? But he says no. What did he say? What is no hard and fast rules? What is that verse? Tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala. There is no rule at all of chanting Hare Krishna. There's no hard and fast rules. You can do it anytime, smaranena kala. Not like, okay, someone told me once when I'm just beginning that, you can't chant Hare Krishna in the bathroom. I'm like, what? You can't chant Hare Krishna in the bathroom because it's like a contaminated space. And I asked him, well, what if I die in the bathroom? Right? Because when we die, we have to chant Hare Krishna. That's what determines where we go in the next life. You might be surprised. I mean, it's kind of funny, like dying in the bathroom, but actually the statistics, 28,200 people die in bathrooms. Bathrooms are dangerous places, right? Even Bhagavatam says that. Padam padam yat vipadam. Every step is danger in this material world. Think about it. Like sometimes, the shower, the guy went before you and you go and then you slip and fall and hit your head. That could happen. It's very dangerous. You're trying to pull yourself out with that, like there's the handle, you have to pull yourself up. The handle comes off. That's another problem. And then it happens. You try to save yourself by holding the curtain and the whole curtain rod falls down, falls on your head. I mean, the world is a dangerous place. the point of this verse is that it doesn't matter where you are, what an awkward situation you are, the holy name is so transcendental to any situation. There is no hard and fast rules. You don't need to be born in a particular family. You don't need to be educated in a particular way. You don't need to know the Sanskrit language. You don't need to know anything. All you need to remember is chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So all the powers of the Lord are in the name. On top of that, there are no hard and fast rules. That's how liberal the Lord is in giving this mercy. But still, there's a serious problem. In the same verse, it says, Durdaivam idrisham iha jani nanuraga. What does anuraga mean?
No taste.
No, anuraga means attachment.
No attachment.
Na anuraga means no attachment or no taste. Anuraga means some affection, some attachment, some interest. Na anuraga. So he says, Durdaivam. Durdaiva means, what an unfortunate situation that I am in. That in spite of you, Krishna, having invested all your potencies in these holy names, on top of that, there are no hard and fast rules. I don't need to be born in any particular way. I don't have to take a shower. I can just chant Hare Krishna. Even then, my misfortune is that I have not developed taste for chanting holy name. Why is that? It's because of the commission of offenses. Now, of course, the holy name always has power when we chant Hare Krishna. Like right now, we can all chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I can imagine you've put in that golden shining coin that glows into the piggy bank of our spiritual account. We've added one more coin to that piggy bank. It will never be taken away from all of us who chanted. All of us chanted, even little kids were chanting. It's irrevocable. It cannot be taken away from your account now. But the taste that we develop comes in the proportion to the level of offenselessness. So if we try to reduce our offenses and give up offenses, chanting the holy name, there are 10 offenses, you can look those up, but there are certain offenses that we should not commit towards the holy name while chanting. But the root of all offenses, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, is pramada. Pramada means not giving the respect or the appropriate attention. Respect starts with attention. We can't respect someone until we give attention. So we should at least pay attention to chanting the holy name. That's all that's required. Pay attention that Krishna is here. I'm going to chant Hare Krishna. And that's all it requires, and everything else develops after that. Right? So, Mahaprabhu glorified the holy name, and then he had this sharp change in mood that look how fallen I am. I cannot taste this thing, right? So, how do I escape the offenses? Let's make a to-do list, right? Let's make a to-do list on taking full advantage of the holy name. So you escape offenses by trying to focus and pay attention to the holy name. Second, cultivate humility and take every chance to serve. Right? So, focus and pay attention, that we know, get the point, right? But what is cultivation of humility? Let's make this a little more interactive. What does humility mean? Anybody? Yeah, humbleness. So that's basically the same word, but in a different, right? So what does it mean to be humble?
Make yourself small.
Make yourself small, right? Or another.
Understand that you're insignificant.
Understand that you're insignificant. Okay. Anything else?
Respect all.
What's that? Respect all. Respect all. Yes.
You're not this body.
You're not his body. Yes.
Radhanath Maharaj says humility means not to think less of ourselves, but to think
Of yourself.
of ourselves less.
Right. Yeah. So that's another thing. That's a very good point. Also, it's like humility actually means that's a very nice point, because humility actually means to take away the focus from ourselves. Sometimes it can be depressing. Oh, I'm nothing. I'm nobody. I'm such a rascal. I'm so fallen. I'm so dirty. Look at my mind. And oh my God, I can't even look at myself in the mirror. Oh, I've become so fat. You know. So this is not humility. right? It's not humility. Humility doesn't mean that to think less of yourself. Yeah, we realize we're insignificant. True. But doesn't mean that we think less of ourselves. It means we should think of ourselves less, which means we think of others more, right? So the focus, if it's still us, even though it's negative, is in the wrong place. We should try to see how I can improve myself in such a way that I can be of genuine help to others. That is humility. That's why it says cultivate humility and take every chance to serve. This is how we do it. When you take every chance to serve, humility is a natural outcome of it. Because service means that I am your servant. Right? Sri Prabhupada always wanted us to cultivate dasos me. He also used to say, I'm your servant. Even his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, was so much into this mood of humility, even though he was a big stalwart scholar. But his disciples even were afraid to offer obeisances to him. Why? Because he would offer obeisances back to the disciple and he would say, dasos me. So then what they would do is they would offer obeisance from very far away, he wouldn't see. That's how humble he was. So humility means always recognizing I'm your servant and not just saying it, but engaging. We'll see so many devotees here are engaging in so much active devotional service. Chanting of Hare Krishna is active devotional service. Cleansing the temple, doing the dishes, doing the pots, etc. Maintaining the yard outside. There's so many devotees are constantly engaged around the year in helping in so many aspects of the temple. Also worshipping Krishna at home, reading the books on Krishna consciousness. These are all active devotional service. When we take a chance to serve Krishna like that, humility is a natural outcome. Right? And then, what happens when we escape offenses is that we develop what is called asakti. Asakti means affection or attachment. This asakti is actually natural in our hearts, but it's covered by layers and layers of selfishness that we've added over many, many, many lifetimes of selfish activities. So we turn from selfish activities to selfless activities. And you develop this thing called asakti. So asakti comes when we chant Hare Krishna with focus and with humility. Now, what is the meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Let's take a look. Hare means Radharani, right? So that's the name. Hara is the name of Srimati Radharani. And when we call her out, we say Hare. Like, Sita is the name of Sita Devi. But when she's being called, would you please, if you call out to her, we say Sita. So Hara is the name of Radharani. And when we call out to her, we say Hare. So now Radharani is the internal energy of Krishna. So this is a prayer calling out to the energy of Krishna. Oh, energy of Krishna. And oh, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. O energy of Krishna, and O Rama, the Supreme Lord, who is the reservoir of all pleasure. Please engage me in your service. So service is what we're praying for when we chant Hare Krishna. Right? Suppose we want to get a job. You might have heard of this small company called Microsoft. Right? And you want a job there, right? And the boss, I don't know if it's still Bill Gates, or anyway, Steve Ballmer or something. But doesn't matter who is the boss, but if you want to be employed at Microsoft, first of all, you need to have the best degree from a very good school, right? You have to have top GPAs, and then you need to get an interview, and then they have tests, and there are all kinds of grueling process just before you can get the job offer. Then you can serve this one ordinary person called Bill Gates, right? Now, imagine how difficult it would be to serve someone who's far bigger, far richer. Because Krishna, we want to serve him. So the process should be more rigorous, right? Should be more demanding, right? But Krishna is so lenient. All we need to do is chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, raise your hand if you did not chant Hare Krishna. If you did not chant. See, everybody here chanted this name. Now you think, anybody can do it. No. Not everybody is qualified and capable of chanting Hare Krishna. You might think, this is so ordinary. Why are you making such a big deal of this? This is true. Only after someone has done millions and millions of lifetimes of pious credit and activities accumulation, doing so much punya, doing so much good, avoiding so much bad. Does one come to the point of being eligible even to utter the name Krishna, utter the name Rama? It's true. There was once a fellow by the name of Valmiki. Valmiki used to be hunter and actually a highway robber. Pretty bad fella. He used to jump on people when they're going on the highway. When they're walking, like when the horses or something, jump onto them and cut their fingers off. I don't know. Some people into this weird thing, So he was used to do that and make necklaces out of them. Like these are the kind of things they make movies out of, horror movies and things. They used to do that, or TV shows, and then they employ the whole FBI to find that fellow, So he was a serial killer basically, and he had committed so much sin and so much offense to the entire creation of the Lord that he could not even chant the name of Krishna. Right? Narad Muni, his guru, visited him and told him, my God, why are you doing all this? You give up this sinful activity and you don't know how much you're going to suffer. So just give up sinful activity and chant Ram, chant the name of Ram. So he said, okay, you seem like a nice guy, I'm going to give it a shot. So he put down his bow, he put down his knife, and he started to chant Ra. He couldn't even go to Ra, let alone speaking Rama. He couldn't even say those two syllables because he had committed so much offense. So all of us here are fortunate enough to actually be able to chant Hare Krishna. Narad Muni was scratching his blonde hair, and wondered. By the way, did you know Narad Muni is blonde? Yeah. You might think, oh, this is ISKCON, International Society for Krishna. Bhagavatam, Narad Muni is actually described as having yellow hair. So yes, Narad Muni is blonde. Those areas. Okay. So, yeah, I'm telling you, this is not limited to one particular region. Okay, so Narad Muni, pure devotee of the Lord, scratching his head, what do I do? This guy can't even chant the name Ram. So he figured out a brilliant idea. He says, okay, you know how to kill somebody, right? And when you kill somebody, what do you say? Mara. Mara, he died. He died. He died. Mara, Mara, Mara. Okay, you just keep saying Mara, Mara, Mara. Just sit in your cottage and keep saying Mara, 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 Mara. And that became Ram, Mara. So he had to trick him into saying the name of Ram. But the purifying effect of that was that he was chanting Ram, Ram continuously, and he got completely purified of his sinful activities. And he became Trikal-darshi. Trikal-darshi means he could see past, present, and future. Became pure devotee of Lord Ram. He wrote the entire Ramayana before it even happened, because he could see it's going to happen. That's how pure he was. So this is the power of the holy name. This is not exaggeration. This is history, right? So Maram became Rama. So how can we become successful in this chanting process? There's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that says, Akamaha sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So whether one is without desire, that's the condition of the devotees, or is desirous all fruitive results, or he wants moksha, he wants liberation, one should with all efforts and all intensity try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness. So the word you see I've highlighted, tivrena. Tivra means intense, intensified energy. So if you look at this picture here, right? This picture is actually an analogy that's given in the purport to this verse. Prabhupada wrote this analogy. You take a magnifying glass, it's in the purport, and you put it in front of the sun's rays, so coming in, and it intensifies the energy of the sun, and you can actually start a fire. This is called tivra. Tivra means intensified. So we as devotees or practitioners of Krishna consciousness should also take our energies of concentration, focus, attention, etc., and from wherever they are, focus them onto one point of attentively trying to develop love for Krishna. And then we'll see the spark. And then the flame bursts forth. That flame which is we are hankering for, right? Which we all want, right? When someone falls in love, it says sparks were flying. We want that sparks to fly when we chant Hare Krishna, because that's what we're yearning for. How do we do it? We focus our attention, right? So let us Let us try now, once. With all our attention, let's focus all our energies that are stuck all over the universe from our head and focus them onto just this one chant of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, as if this is like the last 10 times we're going to chant Hare Krishna. Imagine you're given a chance. So let's do it once. Okay, focus. Let's do it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is how we want to chant Hare Krishna every day. Those who are initiated devotees chant 16 rounds, which is about 2 hours of personal meditation. On top of that, we like to sing in congregational chanting. Even when we're singing congregationally, we want to please the Lord by chanting with focus, recognizing that the Lord is His holy name. Okay, so let us summarize. While it is true that there are no hard and fast rules, there are certain things that optimize, maximize, and give us more fruit from the energy that we've put in. There's a greater return on investment of our energy when we do certain things. What are some of those things? Can anybody have any pointers, tips? What's worked for them? Any suggestions? Yes, chant early in the morning. That's a good suggestion. Let's chant early in the morning. Early in the morning, why? Because that's a very mode of goodness time to focus. The mode are very conducive when you're early in the morning. If you've slept early and you wake up early, there's nothing much disturbance going on around. Your mind is very fresh. It's a very good time to chant Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Chant with other devotees.
Yeah, chant with other devotees. Make friends with devotees who like to chant. This way you can feed off of each other's strengths. So association, chanting early. Anything else?
Sacred space.
Sacred space, yeah, maintain a sacred space. So find, yes, Prabhu?
Chanting attentively, because time taken in attentive chanting and inattentive chanting
It's the same. Right, very good point. Yeah, you should recognize that, hey, I'm going to chant for, say, 1 hour or 2 hours anyway. So there's no difference in the time that you're going to expend, whether you do it attentively or inattentively. Might as well do it the right way, right? I mean, if you're going to save time by doing inattentively, then maybe, okay. But if you do it attentively, actually you save more time. When you're inattentive, it actually takes longer. Because then you're like, oh, where was I? Where's my beat? So, okay, let's summarize. So you can see there's the hourglass symbolizing the grains of sand trickling away as we approach closer to the inevitable last day of our lives. Sounds very bleak, but that's the reality. So might as well be chanting while the sand is flowing through. We don't know when we're going to die. So keep the mental space sacred while we're chanting, at least. Also, while we're not chanting, try to keep it sacred. Shikshashtakam that we read today, it's worth reading. In fact, there's a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita that says one who reads this regularly will attain love of Godhead. So as a part of this temple, every single day, if you come in the morning, Shikshashtakam is read. Every single day, 7 days a week, 365. And 366 days on leap years. Every day, we read it, okay? But what does that help us? Help us with the mental climate. Okay, what kind of climate we should keep? Right in the car, we have climate controls. We situate like a particular temperature and all. So our mind also needs to have a climate. The mood, the thoughts, the background of our mind should be sacred. And what are the contents of the wallpaper? These are the contents, Shikshashtakam. Intensify the inner practice. There's no limit to how much you can enjoy bliss. There's no limit to how intensely you can love somebody. There's no limit to how intensely you can love Krishna, because Krishna is unlimited. And our spirit souls are also unlimited in the capacity to enjoy love. So intensify without any limit. Develop a service attitude that's very pleasing to Krishna, very pleasing to those of us who are around us, and actually very pleasing to the heart. Moment children realize that when I helped somebody out and when I shared something with somebody, I enjoyed more than when I was selfish, that child starts enjoying at a higher level of enjoyment than selfish children. Same thing with grown-ups. When grown-ups learn to taste the service, nectar of service, that person will never give up service. So the attitude of service. And how to cultivate all the above? We hang out with others who are doing this, association of devotees. Right? This is to summarize the contents of today's lecture. So what is so great about the Krishna consciousness? Our philosophy is very thorough, very first class. Our teacher, Srila Prabhupada, the first class Acharya. Learn about him, hear about him. If you're interested, we actually have every Tuesday evening at 7:15 readings on the phone. A group of devotees of us, we get together on the phone. If you're interested, you can talk to Mansi Ganga here, and you can sign up for just calling. It's totally free. And every Tuesday it's been going on for a couple of years now. And we read Srila Prabhupada's biography. First class Acharya, what a great devotee he was. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. First class process, very simple. You chant Hare Krishna and first class association. You enjoy association with friendship with devotees who want to elevate themselves and the world. It's a great group to associate with, you know. And of course, first class prasadam. Prasadam is a very integral part of this process of Krishna consciousness. You know, it is just as sacred as chanting Hare Krishna because it's the mercy of the Lord. And it is distributed for free here every day. And on Sundays we have the full feast. So please do not leave without taking prasadam. Mahaprasadam ki jai. So, just one more announcement. We already made this announcement, but I just wanted to emphasize this is a very good course. ISKCON's Disciples Course. It's an official Disciples Course. It's being offered right here in Towaco over February 11th and the Saturday, February 11th, Sunday, February 12th, and Sunday, February 19th. It's a 3-day course. It's a one course over 3 days. So $51 covers all the materials and prasadam for these during the course. It's a training course that deepens devotees' understanding of what is Guru Tattva, Guru Padashraya, multiple Guru environment of ISKCON. What is that in the context? What does the scriptures talk about Guru? How do I know what is a Guru? How do I find a Guru? It's pretty interesting, very deep, and very beautifully designed. It's designed for devotees preparing to take initiation ISKCON. It's also good for those who have already taken initiation but want to understand this topic of Guru Tattva. It was developed under the direction of Guru Services Committee by the leaders of ISKCON, and is based on the teachings of Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON law and references of all the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. So definitely, if you're interested, you can send me an email or just see me later. I'll just write your name down so we can get decent head count. Right?
Who is giving the class?
Yes, the class will be taught by Nilmani Prabhu and myself. So the two of us are going to share the teachings. I'll teach a couple of days and then he'll teach. Srila Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna. So if you have, I guess we have time for like one question or comment. Yes, Prabhu.
You were saying that there are no rules for the chanting.
Yes.
At the same time, we should chant without any offenses. So the offenses comes as the rules.
Right.
So how do we say that on one side there is no rules, on the other side we say offenses?
Yes. Okay. So the question was that if there are no rules, then what is this 10 offense thing? It sounds like a list of rules to me, right? Shri Gauranitai ki. Yeah. So yes, there are no rules in the sense that you don't need to have any pre-qualifications to chant. Also, even if you chant offensively, the effect of the chanting will be there. But if you want to develop taste and you want to keep sustained doing it your whole life, then you have to chant offenselessly. Because that's when you get the pure effect. But to start chanting Hare Krishna, there are no rules. That's why the example of Valmiki is given. He wasn't told about offenses and that stuff. He wasn't even told what, just chant Hare Krishna, that's the main thing. And then gradually by the chanting process, then you'll inquire more and more, how I'm enjoying this so much, how can I expand this enjoyment? Well, focus. Okay, that's good. So then gradually when you focus, then you will have respect. When you have respect, then all the other offenses are immediately gone. So yes, there's no rules to get started. In fact, Srila Prabhupada was so liberal when he first gave initiation in New York in 1966. In the summer of 1966, he had his first initiations. And during the initiation, he was giving out the names, and one of his disciples asked him, "So Swamiji, are there any rules?" And Prabhupada said, "I was hoping you would ask." He was so liberal in the beginning that it doesn't matter. Forget about the rules, just chant Hare Krishna. He was giving initiation on that basis alone. Later on, he established rules and all that to maintain certain standards, but that's what he said. So yes, in the beginning, there is no rules. Hare Krishna Mahamantra itself is so powerful. It purifies Ajamil, purifies Valmiki, and it purifies even those of us who conditioned like ourselves. Right? Okay, thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.